Hello students and learners, welcome to the new lecture, and in this lecture we are going to discuss about cardiac cycle, single and double circulation. Okay, so first we will start with the cardiac cycle. First, what is meant by cardiac cycle? Cardiac, the term cardiac refers to the heart, and cycle means a event which repeats again and again is known as cycle. Okay, so there are some events in the heart that are occurring all the time, one after the other. That is known as cardiac cycle. The cardiac means heart. The events in heart is known as cycle. So cardiac cycle. Or you can define the cardiac cycle in this way: the sequential events of contraction and relaxation of atria and ventricles is in the heart is known as cardiac cycle. So in the heart there are chambers: the right atria, right ventricle, left ventricle, means right atria, right ventricle, left atria, and also left ventricle. So these all are the chambers that is present in the heart. So they are going to contract and relax. So these are occurring in the cycle. First, we have to discuss about the fetus. Fetus means a growing baby. So when the fetus is growing inside the mother's womb, at 21st day or around 21st day, the heartbeat starts. So if the heartbeat doesn't start at 21st day, in that case the fetus is going to die. Okay, so first let us consider the chambers of the heart are in relaxed condition. We have to remember one important thing: when they are in relaxed condition, when the chambers are in relaxed condition, they are going to fill the blood. Okay, the blood will be filled. So when they are in contracted condition, so what will happen? They will pump the blood. Okay, they will pump the blood from the chambers. Okay, so when the chambers are relaxed, they are going to fill the blood. When the chambers are contracting, they are going to pump the blood out of it. So first, in the chambers, the atria and also ventricle, these two are atria and these two are ventricles. So when the atria is going to fill the blood when they are relaxed. Okay, while coming to the right atrium, when coming to the right atrium, and it is going to, when it is relaxed, it is going to fill the blood from the superior vena cava and also inferior vena cava. Okay, so superior in vena cava and also inferior vena cava, they are going to bring the blood from all body parts, and they are going to dump, or they are going to fill the blood in the right atrium. So when the right atrium is filled, it is going to pump the blood into the next chamber that is known as right ventricle. Okay, in the same way, this left atrium also doing the same thing, but it is going to receive blood, oxygenated blood from the lungs. It is going to receive the oxygenated blood from the lungs, and through which blood vessels? Yes, you are correct. That is pulmonary veins. Okay, the pulmonary veins are the veins that are receiving the blood from the lungs, and these blood will be received and the blood will be filled in the left atrium. When the left atrium is completely filled with the blood, it is going to contract. Okay, not only left atrium but also right atrium. Both right atrium and also left atrium, they are going to contract. When they are contracted, the blood from these chambers will move down. Okay, the blood from these chambers move down through walls. What are those walls? The tricuspid wall and also bicuspid wall. So the tricuspid wall looks in this way. Okay, the tricuspid wall looks in this way and bicuspid wall will look in this way. So tri means three flap-like structures that can be seen in the tricuspid wall, and bicuspid wall is two flap-like structure. Okay, so where these walls are present? These walls are present in the atrioventricular septum. Okay, these are the atrioventricular septum. So in the atrioventricular septum, these walls are present. Okay, so fine. When these right atria and also left atria contracted, the blood will be moved from their chamber to ventricles. That these ventricles are next to the auricles. Okay, so now what is going to do? These ventricles are in relaxed condition. So this is only the reason: when these ventricles are in relaxed condition, they are going to accept blood from the atria. Okay, so now ventricles are filled with blood. When the ventricles are filled with blood, what they are going to do? They are going to contract. So the ventricles, when they fill, they are going to contract. So when the ventricles are going to contract, what will happen? You can see the tricuspid wall and also bicuspid wall. These tricuspid and bicuspid walls are going to close. So the question is why? Why these tricuspid wall and bicuspid wall are going to close? Can you see here? the blood is flown here, and now the blood is going to move to the a blood vessel that is known as pulmonary artery and also this aorta. Okay, so when they are contracted, when these ventricles are contracted due to the increased blood pressure in this chamber, so these walls will shut down, okay, or these walls will close. That is tricuspid wall and also bicuspid walls are going to close. As a result, the in which direction the blood has to move? Yeah, you are correct. The blood has to move in this direction, that is directly into the pulmonary artery and also into the aortic blood vessel, okay, or aorta. Okay, this is only the chance. So as a result, the blood will be moved into this chamber. So the pulmonary artery the pulmonary artery will pump blood from the right ventricle to the lungs. In the same way, here you can see the aorta, systemic aorta, or you can call it aorta. So the blood from the left ventricle is pumped to the aorta, and from the aorta to the body parts. Okay, so this is the condition. Okay, fine. The complete blood has been pumped from the right ventricle into the pulmonary artery and also systemic to the aorta. Okay, now what will happen? Again, the ventricle has to contract. Why? Because there is no blood. So what will happen? Now the blood which is present in these blood vessels like pulmonary artery and also aorta will try to come back into the ventricles. So it should not be happened. So this is one of the reason you can see here these walls are going to close. So to prevent backflow of the blood from these blood vessels into the ventricles, these walls are going to close. Okay, so this is the main important factor here. So these walls are preventing the backflow of the blood into the chambers. Okay, now you can see here. So there is important sound that is known as lub and dub sound. The question is how the lub and dub sound are produced. Okay, you can see here when the blood is pumped from the atria to the ventricles, these walls, tricuspid and bicuspid walls, are opening. There is nothing problem in it. So now the sound is produced when these tricuspid and bicuspid walls are closed. So ventricles are going to contract. As a result, these walls, the tricuspid and bicuspid walls, are closing at a force. Along with the force, they are going to close. So when they forcibly shut or when they forcibly close down, there is a generation of the sound that is known as lub sound. Okay, you can see here they are going to close forcibly. These are going to close forcibly when the ventricles are going to close or when the ventricles are going to contract. So remember, the lub sound is produced when the tricuspid wall and bicuspid wall are closed. Okay, leads to a generation of the lub sound that you can see in this diagram. Okay, and next, when the lub sound is produced, the lub sound is produced when these walls are closed. What are those walls? The pulmonary wall or semilunar wall, and next is the aortic wall. These walls will close. Why these walls close? To prevent backflow. To prevent backflow of the blood, these walls are going to close. As a result, when these walls, nothing but the pulmonary wall and aortic wall, when they close, again there is generation of sound that is known as dub sound. Remember, lub sound is strong, and the lub sound is strong, and also dub sound. Okay, dub sound is dull. Okay, so when this dub sound will be produced, when pulmonary wall which is present in the pulmonary aorta, and also next this aortic wall which is present in the aorta blood vessel, when they close, they are going to produce dub sound. When the tricuspid wall and bicuspid wall close, it is going to produce lub sound. So this is only the difference between the lub sound and also dub sound. So this is the internal structure of the heart. If you slice the heart in this direction, you can see the walls. So what is this wall? This wall is tricuspid wall. And what is this wall? This is bicuspid wall. When they are going to close, when these tricuspid and bicuspid walls are going to close, when the ventricles are going to contract. ventricle contraction leading to the close of tricuspid and also bicuspid wall. Okay, so auricle contraction, auricles are going to contract so that they can pump blood into the ventricles. And next, when the tricuspid valve and also bicuspid valve closes, when the tricuspid valve and bicuspid valve closes, the pulmonary valve and also aortic valve open. Okay, they are going to open. So again the same cycle repeats. When the tricuspid, when the pulmonary valve and also aortic valve opens, the tricuspid valve and bicuspid valve closes. When the tricuspid valve and also bicuspid valve opens, pulmonary valve and also aortic valve are going to close. Okay, so in opposite direction. So in ventricular contraction, the blood pressure decreases. As a result, the blood from the pulmonary artery tries to come back. As a result, backflow of the blood is prevented by the valves which is present in the blood vessels on closing. So just now we have discussed, is going to produce a dull sound known as dub. Okay, so you can see here. Just now we have written. Yeah, this is the dub sound. Okay. So next, atrial contraction, that is atrial systole. Systole is nothing but contraction. It requires around 0.11 to 0.14, 0.11 to 0.14 seconds. So this is the time taken for the atria to contract. So in the same way, the ventricles are going to contract. So the ventricular contraction requires around 0.27 to 0.35 seconds. So such kind of time is required for the atria and also ventricles to contract. Then what about relaxation? Okay, both ventricles and auricles are going to relax and they are going to take around 0.4 seconds. So 0.4 seconds are required for the relaxation of the ventricles. Okay, but this whole procedure is going to get completed in less than a second, that is known as 0.8 seconds. Okay, if you see here, the tissue will not receive the blood continuously. Okay, why the tissue will not receive the blood continuously? For example, if you see the pipe which is coming from the tap, you will see the flow of water continuously. But if you compare the artery as a pipe, in the artery you will not see the continuous flow of blood. Okay, so the water pipe is different and this is different. So here there will be the water which is coming from the water pipe will be continuous, but here the blood which is coming from the artery is not continuous. Why the blood supply is not continuous to the body or tissue? So you can see here, this ventricle, this is a left ventricle. It is going to contract and relax. Okay, when the left ventricle contract, what will happen? When the left ventricle contract, there is a supply. Okay, the left ventricle contract, the blood will be supplied. So when the left ventricle relax, what will happen? No supply. Okay, so again, when the left ventricle contract, again supply. When the left ventricle contract, again no supply. Okay, supply, no supply, supply, no supply. Such kind of a flow of blood is known as discontinuous. Okay, such kind of a flow of blood is known as discontinuous blood supply. Okay, that we can see in this in the pumping of blood by the heart. Okay, hence supply of the blood to the tissue is discontinuous and it can be observed in the pulse in the wrist. If you place your forefinger and also middle finger on your wrist, okay, so you can observe some kind of rhythmatic movement in the wrist. Why? Because there is a blood vessel. It will throbbing up and down due to the increased blood pressure and also decreased blood pressure. So there is increased blood pressure and also decreased blood pressure is due to discontinuous blood supply by the heart. From which chamber? That is left ventricle. Okay, so the rate of the pulse will be equal to the number of the heartbeat. Let us consider there is 72 heartbeats are there. Okay, as a result there will be 72 pulse rate. Hence we can confirm that the blood supply to the tissue is not continuous. Okay, so this is the table. So in this table we can see the weight of the body of an animal, the weight of the heart in that animal, and number of beats per minute. Okay, if the largest animal is blue whale, okay, this is size of the blue whale body, and this is size of the heart. Okay, how much kg it is, and number of beats per minute means very less number of the beats. If you compare blue whale with coal teeth, so it is only 8 grams, not even a kg. Okay, it is only 8 grams, and its number of heartbeats per minute is 1200. So huge variation when you compare from blue whale to the coal-teeth bird. Okay, so such kind of variations can be seen in the organisms. So next, coming to the single and double circulation. So what is meant by single circulation? The flow of blood through the heart only once for completing one circulation is known as single circulation. So here you can see in the textbook there is a diagram is given. So in the textbook, let us consider this is the heart. Okay, let us consider this is the heart, and the heart pumps the blood. Okay, oxygenated blood to the organ, any oxygenation organ. Let us consider this is the gills that can be present in the fish. Okay, it will be oxygenated, the blood will get oxygenated, it will pump to the body parts. So this is the body parts. Okay, the body parts contains tissue, it is going to utilize the oxygenated blood, and its oxygenated blood will be utilized in the body parts, leading to the production of the deoxygenated blood. This deoxygenated blood will move to the heart. Okay, can you see here how many cycles are there here, how many circulations are there? Only one circulation here. Okay, the blood is reaching the heart only one time, hence you can call it as a single circulation. So this can be seen in the fishes. So then what about human beings? The same, let us consider the same thing. So this is the heart. Okay, so first blood will reach from the body parts. Okay, from the body parts the blood will reach to the which chamber? Right atrium. Okay, the blood will reach from the body parts to the right atrium through superior and inferior vena cava. So from here it will reach us to the right ventricle. Okay, right ventricle, from the right ventricle to the lungs. Okay, again from the right ventricle to the lungs. Okay, from the lungs to it receiving again to the which chamber? That is left atrium. So from left atrium to the left ventricle. Okay, so from here to the body parts again. Okay, can you see there are two circulations? The blood is moving to the heart two times. Okay, so this is one circulation and this is a second circulation. Okay, this is known as pulmonary circulation. What is pulmonary circulation? Here you can see pulmonary circulation. Pulmonary circulation. Why? Because the lungs are going to take the blood from the heart to oxygenate it. Okay, it is going to convert from the deoxygenated blood to the oxygenated blood, and again oxygenated blood will be pumped to the body parts. Okay, hence you can see one pulmonary circulation, one is a systemic circulation. Okay, systemic circulation. The heart is receiving the blood twice. Okay, here the heart is receiving the blood only once, hence it is known as single circulation. It can be seen in the fishes, and in the human beings you can see two circulations, hence we can call it as a double circulation. Okay, so next in the textbook there are few questions asked. How many times did your pointer touch the body parts in the figure 11 and also 11a and 11b? So in the textbook, if you clearly observe there in the diagram, you can see the pointer is touching only one time. And here in the next, how many times did your pointer touch the heart in the figure 11a and b? So that is only one time in 11a and two times in the 11b. Okay, how many times did your pointer touch the respiratory organ in the figure 11a and 11b? That is only one time. Okay, and I hope this lecture is helpful to you, and also subscribe to the channel so that you will get notifications when the lessons are going to start. And like the video, share, and also comment. You can ask your doubts or questions in the comment section so that we will reply to it. And in the next lecture we are going to discuss about the lymphatic system and evolution of a transport system, okay, or circulatory system. Okay, and we have completed chapter 2. We have completed chapter 2, that is respiration chapter. So if you have completely watched those lectures, complete lectures are finished in the chapter 2, then you can take the test. Okay, or otherwise you can take the test if you are interested. Okay, so link for the test is given in the description below. So in the description you can click on the link and the test will open, and you can you can attend the test and you can understand how much you have understood the chapters. Okay, and we will see you in the next lecture.